Hey everyone, welcome to the show.
Great to be diving in again.
So imagine this. You step back onto familiar soil after decades away,
Okay.
only to find that the very essence, what you remembered, it's been dramatically reshaped.
Right. Unrecognizable almost.
Exactly. A whirlwind of progress, so leaving echoes of the past barely there. That feeling, that sort of displacement and discovery, that's really at the heart of what we're exploring today.
We're diving into the American scene. It's a really fascinating work. Kind of sits at the intersection of, well, social observation and travel writing.
And it comes from the celebrated novelist Henry James. This was written when he returned to his native land back in the early 1900s.
That's right. After a long time living in Europe, he spent 1904 and 1905 traveling across America.
Yeah, covering a lot of ground, from the familiar, like New England, to, the burgeoning metropolis of New York City.
And then down to the south, across the Midwest, and even all the way out to California, which was pretty much the frontier back then.
But this isn't, your typical travelogue. It's not just scenic postcards.
No, not at all.
It's a sharp, often quite poignant exploration of American identity, how it was being forged in that booming, transformative era, the Gilded Age.
What really struck me, I have to say, was James's incredible ability to capture the atmosphere of a place.
Oh, definitely.
His initial encounter with New York Harbor, for instance, it's rendered with this almost overwhelming sense of scale and energy. It's a real testament to the raw ambition of the city.
Yeah, you feel that power.
And then in stark contrast, you get his descriptions of California. They evoke this almost dreamlike quality, a natural beauty that clearly captivated him. He even mentions the Californian smile.
Absolutely. But his focus wasn't just on the scenery, was it? He turned that keen novelist's eye towards the people, too, and the evolving social fabric.
Right.
I found his observations on the sheer displays of wealth, like in Newport, quite telling. Offers a real glimpse into the priorities of the era.
And at the same time, his encounters at Ellis Island. Complex, yes, but they provide this powerful snapshot of the human drama of immigration on a massive scale.
Yeah, the sheer numbers.
And it wasn't just the social landscape James engaged with. We also see him reflecting on the intellectual currents of the time.
Like his thoughts on American speech.
Exactly, and even his lecture on Balzac. Plus, there's this undercurrent of his relationship with his brother William. That adds a personal dimension to his homecoming, revealing some fascinating tensions there.
Okay, so let's maybe touch on some of the aspects that seem to genuinely trouble him. Because it wasn't all admiration.
No, far from it.
One recurring theme is his concern about the rapid pace of change and what he saw as a kind of historical amnesia in America.
That lack of connection to the past?
Precisely. The demolition of his childhood home in Boston clearly hit him hard. And he seemed to view the towering new skyscrapers in New York with, a mixture of awe and unease.
Like symbols of something else.
Almost like symbols of a relentless, forward-moving force with, very little regard for what came before. Impermanence, maybe, and unchecked capitalism.
That's a crucial point. You see James, with his deep appreciation for history and established traditions, he's grappling with a society that seemed utterly focused on the new, the immediate.
A very European sensibility confronting the American dynamism.
Absolutely. And his writing certainly reveals that, and sometimes, a critical lens applied to American manners, the working class.
And particularly immigrants, right? His discomfort during visits to places like Ellis Island and the Lower East Side, while historically significant to read about, they can be, challenging for a contemporary reader.
Definitely challenging. There's a certain elitism there, you could say.
Right. And it's this complexity, though, this sort of internal back and forth in his observations that I found so compelling.
Me too.
He's trying to reconcile his memories of America, maybe an idealized version, with the dynamic, often jarring realities he encounters. It's not straightforward.
Not at all. It's a nuanced, sometimes contradictory exploration of a nation really in flux.
What's fascinating is how he hones in on these seemingly small details to talk about bigger shifts, like his idea of the hotel spirit.
Ah, yes, that's a great example.
It's not just about the buildings themselves, is it?
No, it speaks to a certain kind of transient, maybe superficial social interaction he observed in these new public spaces. He contrasts it with the more established social rituals he knew from Europe.
It makes you think, how are these evolving spaces shaping American social dynamics back then?
Exactly. And when he looks at the New York skyline, It's not just the height.
No.
He sees that relentless ambition, sure, but also a potential for maybe a loss of individual identity within that overwhelming scale.
It feels almost prophetic, doesn't it, when you think about how our cities have continued to grow?
It really does. If you connect this to the bigger picture, the Gilded Age, I mean, we're talking about unprecedented industrial growth, massive
A
immigration.
complete reshaping of the American landscape and social order.
Yeah. And James's observations give us this unique perspective, someone who'd been removed from that rapid change and was now seeing it firsthand. His anxieties about the pace, the potential loss of history, they resonate with broader concerns about modernization, really in any era.
So, having sort of journeyed through Henry James's America with him, where do we land on a rating for the American scene?
I'd give it a strong 4 out of 5 stars. I mean, James's prose is just so rich, often beautiful, even when he's being critical.
It is stunning prose.
And his insights into that pivotal period of American history are sharp, really thought-provoking. The book itself remains a significant document of its time.
I'd agree with the 4 out of 5. But, it's important to acknowledge, as we touched on, that some perspectives reflect the biases of his era and, frankly, his social standing,
Absolutely.
which might not sit comfortably with all readers today, that's fair to say.
It is.
Still, for its historical significance and just the sheer power of James's observations, even the uncomfortable ones.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 feels right. So if this deep dive into Henry James's America has piqued your interest, you can find a link to Peter Brooks's Henry James Comes Home. It offers some really valuable additional context for the American scene that's in the description below.
Definitely worth checking out.
And of course, if you enjoyed this exploration, please do like and subscribe for more deep dives into, well, fascinating historical and cultural perspectives like this one.
Thanks so much for joining us as we delved into Henry James's rediscovery of America. It was quite a trip.
It really was.
We'd love to hear what stood out to you. What was maybe your favorite observation or the most surprising insight from our discussion? Let us know. Share your thoughts in the comments below.
And please help others discover the deep dive by liking and sharing this conversation. We really appreciate you being part of it.